Thank you so much for joining me on Nighttime Tea. My name is Brock Olson. I'm your host. Got my tea right here. Best dog dad ever. Diana insisted that I had this mug. You know, I kind of agree with it. I'm a pretty good dog dad. If you haven't seen Cosmo, my golden retriever, me posting him, it seems like every other day. I think I'm a pretty decent dog dad. I can't lie about that. Tonight's episode, I'm going to be talking about double standards. Now, if you haven't been on social media for the last week and a half, if you've been living under a rock, maybe you've missed the story that happened or that came out of Murfreesboro regarding a couple of cops who decided to have a little bit too much fun at work and have all since been fired. The details are there was a woman. I'm not going to say any names, by the way. I'm not going to say any names. That part is not important. There was a woman who slept with 4 or 5 of her male coworkers. She was married. I believe all those men were as well. And I have been seeing a lot of memes joking about her, joking about why. Okay. Been seeing a lot of memes about her and, you know, sleeping with all these guys. And then I see these comments. Why aren't we making memes about the men? Why are we not holding these men accountable? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I mean, they all got fired, so that's being held pretty accountable. Now, if you're wondering why aren't we making memes, well, here we go, because it's not meme worthy. People cheat on their spouses all the time. Men cheat on their wives. Wives cheat on their husbands. The reason that this woman is having memes made of her is because she did it multiple times. They did it once. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, you know, that's so sexist. Women should be able to sleep with whoever they want and it not be turned into a meme. Now, hold on. We're going to dive into why she is being made into memes and they are not. The whole thing about it being a double standard, why are we not making memes and why are we not like chastising the male officers? Why is it just the woman? Why is she the only person that's having meme after meme or joke after joke being thrown at her? And I was talking to Diana about this. Somehow she hadn't even heard about it, but we were talking about it last night. And initially she was like, yeah, why aren't we making memes or why aren't we holding these men accountable? I was like, well, first of all, we're holding everybody accountable. Everybody got fired. Everybody. Equal firing. Like nobody got more punishment than the next. The next layer is like, okay, all of these people I believe had spouses. Terrible for them. Really, really terrible for them. Now, here's where this gets different and why the memes are being made of her and not of everybody else. It's because those men cheated with one person. I mean, this is the allegation. Let's just stick with the story here. The man cheated with one person. She cheated with multiple people. So, and if you're just looking at basic levels of, you know, that part of the story, then yes, she did worse. I'm not saying that this is a good thing. Everybody that cheated, that's pretty messed up. You should never cheat on your partner. But she did it multiple times with people that she worked with. So I try to look at this from different perspectives, different angles. I'm like, okay, say we reversed the scenario. Let's say it was one male police officer and 4 police women, and he slept with all of them. How would like society be looking at that? Well, I already know. Like the jokes would be like, "Attaboy," like, "Hey, how'd you accomplish that?" Like, you know, it's completely different, and there's multiple reasons why it's completely different. And this is the part where some people are going to be like, Brock, you just need to turn the camera off. You need to turn off the mic, but listen to everything that I have to say. Again, I'm a very progressive person, but we're going to stick with some facts here. When it comes to sexual intimacy, with sharing that moment with somebody, women have to be more selective than men. Biologically, evolutionarily, women had to be a lot more selective, because guess what? You can only have a baby once a year. So evolutionarily, like, this has been passed through, thousands of generations from women. You have to be more selective with who you're going to have sex with. So if you are just having sex with a bunch of people as a woman, very carefree, very casually, you're not taking that risk. And this is like, scientifically, this is what's going on. You aren't taking that risk very seriously, and that's what society views it as. That's just how it is. Men have a much, much less probability of having an issue. Like, we don't get pregnant. We don't have to worry about that. Sorry, guys, I live right next to the fire department, so we're gonna let the fire engines run by. They are obnoxious, very, very loud. So for anybody who is just joining, I'm talking about the thing that has been on the front of social media for like the last week and a half. And no, I'm not talking about Andrew Tate or Greta. I'm talking about the police officers who were caught, having sex with each other on company time, and now have all been fired. So that's kind of what we're talking about, and talking about the double standard. Why is she the one that's being chastised and not the men? Why is she the one having memes made about her and not the men? So we got to the evolutionary aspect of it. Women have a lot higher risk when it comes to having sex with somebody. You're able to get pregnant. Men are not. So there's the second fire truck. Just gonna let this guy go by. It's not obnoxious at all. Moo, get out the way. There it is. Okay. So just by that fact that women are able to only procreate one time a year, it would show that evolutionarily that it's ingrained in women for you to be able to shut that off and disregard thousands of years of evolution to just a good time. There's something often not right there. And what happens, and again, some people are not going to agree with this. That's totally fine. I'm talking about facts. I'm backing this up with science, biology, psychology. Women that are able to have sex with lots of partners really, really struggle with long-term relationships. You struggle with pair bonding. Like, these are facts. We can get into, well, do men struggle with that? And to an extent, men do. Men are really struggling, by the way. This is a side effect. Maybe we'll talk about this later. Men are struggling more to pair bond than ever because of porn. Not because of in-person sexual interaction, but because of pornography. Anyway, back to this. For women, everybody knows that the woman has to be more selective, that she is the one that has to push the guys away and choose the person that she's going to take those next steps with. A man has very little at stake. He just does. I mean, I guess by law, now that we have like child support and all these types of things, if you have, a child with a woman, you've got a lot at stake too, but you don't have anything physically at stake like a woman does. Okay, we're going to rewind this and go a little bit further. For something to become a social meme, something has to be an anomaly. Something has to be very rare. And I'm not saying a woman having sex with multiple people is very rare. We know people are having sex. Like, let's grow up. We know. For it to be under those conditions makes it extremely rare. For it to be people who we kind of look up to in a way, because they're supposed to be enforcing law, there's that part to it. And I'll say why this is meme worthy. When something is done so out of the ordinary, so intentionally, so uniquely, it's an opportunity for society to learn about something. And I'm gonna assimilate this to something. Now, I don't mean to like do apples to apples here. That's not what this is. But let's take Jeffrey Dahmer. He's, that movie just won an award, or the actor did. Horrific situation that happened. He made news because of the amount of carnage he caused. If he had killed one person, a lot of people have killed people. A lot of people have. If he had killed one person, just one person, nobody would know his name. Nobody. The fact that he did it so many times and the way in which he did it is what made him famous, is what was super rare, super unique, and why we use this as a case study. So when this one person had sex with multiple people in her workplace, she became unique. She became an anomaly. She became meme worthy. I'm not saying like jokingly memed. A meme is a social consciousness, like where we're acknowledging something happening. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Richard Dawkins who actually coined the term meme. But when something like that happens, when it's one person who's done something very unique, like, yes, you're going to be made into a meme. And if those roles were reversed, if it was one guy with multiple women, bet your ass there would be memes about him. Now, they wouldn't be the same. They'd be, because society understands that for a man to have sex with multiple women, he's likely bringing some form of value to the table. Women don't just freely give themselves up. They just don't. It's just not how it typically works. So that's why there's not memes. These men, yes, they cheated on their wives. Inexcusable. I do not promote that. I think that's horrible. I feel so bad for all of them. But the reason that there are not memes is because these men cheated with one person. That's it. They cheated with one person. People cheat all the time. People cheat with their coworkers all the time. This is a very unique situation. And if you do not feel comfortable acknowledging that that's the case, then maybe you're taking a version of like you're just entirely too biased to your gender. I mean, this isn't even, I'd say this isn't a male-female thing. It is. It definitely is. But you have to acknowledge that this isn't something that happens often. It just isn't. Men cheat on their wives all the time. Wives cheat on their husbands all the time. But it's very rare that a single woman sleeps with everybody at the office while she's married on taxpayer time that's supposed to be enforcing the law, who we trust to protect us. Like, you're carrying a gun. If we call, like, someone's knocking in the door, like, guess what? Little Annie, I'm not, because I don't want to say her name, I'm just going to say Annie. Little Annie is supposed to come and help you. Like, that's why this is important. That's why. If this had happened with some people that were just like, you go to these like fast oil change places or whatever, and they're all sleeping with each other, or even a restaurant, like, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. It's because this happened with people who are supposed to be in a level of authority, and it completely just like invalidates almost all of that stuff. And that's why there aren't memes about the men, is because it's they all just did it one time. Let me take that back. They didn't just do it one time. They did it one time each. She did it at least 4 times. 4 separate occasions. While married. While on taxpayer money. While supposed to be protecting and serving. And I'm not going to get into any jokes. I'm trying to hold the smile back. But anyway, that is the whole thing. That's exactly why there aren't memes about the men. And I would challenge anybody that's upset about that to, hey, make a meme about the men. Give it a shot. Nobody will know what you're talking about. You'll really struggle because there's really not much to grab from there. There's just not. Now I got a couple of comments here. Let me see what we're doing here. Okay, good. I'm so glad that everyone's able to hear. But the men are in the memes too, though. I mean, they're pictured, yes, absolutely, but they're not like the butt of the joke. God, it's like every word I say just makes it. They're not, you know, the true focus. Like the only time you can make them the meme is with her also. You know, obviously you can just make a picture with all of them, but it doesn't have context without her. Like she's the famous one. She's the one that did this multiple times. So yeah, that's why there are no joking memes, because you know, maybe if you're really upset about this, you need to take it up with society. Like society understands, you should understand it's hard for a man to have sex with multiple women. If he's not bringing value, women won't even give him a second chance. And again, this goes back to evolutionarily, women have to be extremely selective on who they're going to have sex with because of the physical risk. It's like, dang, I don't want to just have a kid with, you know, someone that doesn't have a job, that's not, you know, mature, capable of like helping me out. Women are supposed to be a lot more selective. Guys are not. We're not, because we don't have the same risks. So for somebody to do what she did multiple times, I don't even want to get into the jokes again, but for somebody to be able to do that multiple times, it shows that maybe something's not clicking, something isn't quite processing, and yeah, that's why this is so unique, because it's so rare. And if you can't see that this is super rare and that's what makes this unique, then, you know, I can't really help you out. So everybody that's having the issue with there not being memes about the guys saying, you know, it's not equal, it's not equality, I'm going to say something and I'm going to sign off. Men and women are not equal. We are equal in the workplace. We are equal in terms of our rights, but we are very different. We have different things at risk. We have different mindsets. We have different needs. We have different prerogatives. We are naturally predisposed to certain things. Just is what it is. We are not equal in that sense. And we have to acknowledge that. And I think that's actually what makes coupling so beautiful, because if we were all the same, how boring would that really, really be? All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you all jumping on with me tonight. And again, if you are on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave me a comment in the section below. I'd really like to hear what you have to say on this topic about double standards, about, you know, becoming a meme, all that type of stuff. Like, let me know. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys all have a really good night. I will see you later. Bye.